Yeah, okay. Part dos, here we go. So now, this is part two of the video that I wanted to talk about, the whole, my feelings on how the whole Trayvon Martin thing case. Um, so now we're going to talk about the actual trial. Where the heck, where do I even begin with this trial? First of all, the opening. Knock knock jokes. Knock knock jokes for real. For real? That tells me right there this trial ain't finna be that. You ain't really finna take this that seriously, because this just gave it away right here. The stupid knock knock joke that wasn't even funny. You know why it wasn't funny? Because it's true. Knock knock. Who's there? George Zimmerman. Who is George Zimmerman? Oh, okay, you get to be on the jury, because they had to pick a jury full of people who were not following this case, just so they could give it a fair trial. Where did you find these people? Where do they live? Do they live under a rock somewhere? That's what I want to know. Where'd you find these funny people at? Huh? You can't have black people because all black people hate them right now. Yeah, okay, majority of us do, yeah, Yeah, you're right on that. Can't have any parents, because then they think about, well, when my child was killed by somebody, I'd be mad as hell too. So they can't have parents on there. And it's like, yo, really? And what did they do? They just used his social media. Here we go. The media, to give that's all so easy to paint a black person as a drug-fueled, rage-based criminal, right? That's what they think we all are. They think we're all just hostile and want to steal stuff all the time, and we always looking for fights, and we want to kill people because we're on drugs. That's great. They painted this poor boy up to be a monster. And then the other problem you have, on the other hand, is you got, a lot of people on the, for the, prosecution, I should say. A lot of these people were not very experienced, because here's the problem. They built their case around George Zimmerman telling his stuff. And then when he didn't get up there, that messed them up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, nah, he can get off without, because why are we going to set him up there and let him talk himself into the prison? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? And it's like ridiculous. So y'all put this, the friend he was talking on the phone with, y'all did not prepare this girl at all. They tore this poor girl apart. They made her look like a dumb, ignorant fool who don't know anything about anything. And y'all didn't do a good way of taking down their imagery. You know what I'm saying? You didn't knock it down at all. Because you were so waiting on him. Oh, okay, it doesn't matter as long as he gets up there. Then when he don't get up there, it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, and then that along with the jewelry that came from the cave and underneath the rock, who doesn't know what he did. Because you can't go off of anybody who feels any kind of way about what he did. You put all that together, I knew he was going to get off. I said, you know what? He's going to get off, and we just got to get used to the fact. But at the same time, even whether he gets off or whether he goes to jail or whether he goes, none of that is going to bring Trayvon Martin back to life out of nowhere. That's the whole point of it, okay? Whole point is, that's why, the parents, they're upset, they're a little upset because they just had to, and that's the reason why they didn't want to drag the whole family up there, because then they got to relive over and over again the death of their son or their friend or their brother. They got to go over the last horrendous moments of this boy's life over and over again. And that's just not right. So in the next part of the video, I'm going to be addressing the actual, what happened.